In this session we're going to look at setting a static IP address for our Raspberry Pi. To do this we actually need to go through and edit a file which will help us set this IP address. So first of all we're going to have a look at our IPconfig. Now our IPconfig shows us, so using the command IPconfig, shows us what our wireless is down the bottom, which is the WLAN 0. Also what our Ethernet 0 is. Now Ethernet 0 is dealing with our physical Ethernet cable, where the WLAN 1 also deals with a wireless LAN. We notice that we're plugged into the network at the moment. You can actually see the IP address which the network has given us, which is 192.168.0.8, and we're going to change this to a static IP address of something like say 192.168.0.100. So let's go through the process of doing that. To do this we actually need to go and edit a file. So we need to use the command sudo because we need to be a root user. Yeah, we're going to head through to a particular path, but to edit this file we're going to use the text editor nano, N-A-N-O. So to do this we need to head through to sudo nano etc network interfaces and press enter. Now what this will open and show you on screen is the following little program. So this is the text editor for this. So you can actually see that we've got auto load, interface, low, inet, loopback, auto eth 0. Now eth 0 is actually the one which we need to enter or to edit. So you can actually see at the moment here eth 0, interface, eth 0, inet, manual. This, and you need to use your arrow keys to navigate. You can't use your mouse just to click on it. You need to actually move the flashing cursor to it. So I'm going to go all the way to the end, and I'm actually going to push the delete key to get rid of manual. And so now it's going to have inet, and we're going to change that to static. So now this will set us a static IP address. Now to set a static IP address we've now got to define what the IP address is. Well, so we want the address, and so this is going to be our new physical address. So in this case it's going to be 192.168.0.100. So this will give my Raspberry Pi an address of 100 on my network, which means that any of my computers that are connected to this LAN will be able to see this Raspberry Pi. Also I need to set in there what its netmask is. 255.255.0, which is the same as what the default one from the router was. And also with my netmask I also need to put the gateway as well. Now the gateway is the address of your router which will allow the Raspberry Pi to go onto the internet. So my gateway is 192.168.0.1. So this is actually going to allow my Raspberry Pi to get out onto the internet. And then it's asking you, do you want to save it? And we're just going to push Y for yes. Then it's going to ask us for a name. Just press enter because we want to overwrite the previous one. And we've overwritten that. Now to get the IP address to work we need to restart the router or the Raspberry Pi. So type in the command sudo reboot, and this will start your Raspberry Pi again. And we can still run the ifconfig, and we now have a static IP address of 192.168.0.100. So whenever I want to reference this computer from another computer or on a network, I can use that IP address. So that's how you set a static IP address on a Raspberry Pi.